Hi, you all hear me? Hello? I just want to make sure that you all hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm pretty sure you're all enjoying your day. Um, when I was 17, um, I had to give up everything that I had with my family, like the education, uh, the house, and everything, because I was born and brought up in a very not poor family, but it's a lower middle class, like slightly higher than poor family. My father and mother never even attended high school, and they didn't have proper education. So I just thought that I should be going to school, and I was a school topper in the high school. And that's the time that I decided that I have to study this or that. I'm trying to choose my college. But during that situation, my father's small business, just very small business, he just lost whatever we had, and he tried committing suicide. And it was the time that I have to. Uh, that's my last exam in the high school. So everyone told me that you have to stay at home and be with your father. But I thought that that's the only way that I have to take my family and my next generation to the next level. Because it's not that we don't have money and that's why people are not going to school. Here, people are not allowed to go to school um, because I'm from a lower caste, and they don't allow lower caste people to go to school and get education. It's not just women. It's not even for boys. So I'm a lower caste person, and also a girl, and also I don't have money. So everything stopped me from going to school. That made me that to decide that I have to go to school, do my education, and do whatever I can to change the life of the entire generation. So I was ready to go to school. I did all my work, but what happened is because of this family situation, I had to drop my college education. But I got admission in um, one of the top college in my city. It's a well-known college. I got merit scholarship and everything, but I was not able to go to college, and because I had to take care of my family because we were almost homeless, and I have two sisters and my mom. So it all became my responsibility because our father left us with a lot of debt and almost homeless. So I was just looking for an opportunity. I was doing all these small works, but I got this opportunity to become a trainee journalist in one of a magazine. But it's not very easy. I had to go through the selection process. I was selected out of I was the one of the person of 32 students who were selected out of 3,000 students. I was very glad that I got an opportunity to work, as only one trainee in the metropolitan city that I live in Chennai. Um, from that, I decided that okay, this is going to be my future, and I started working on becoming a great journalist. But I had no knowledge about journalism, or I had no knowledge about anything that's happening around me, because I felt like I was left in a forest without any resource, and nobody was trying to help me, and people don't even speak to us because we are from lower caste. That caste system is like following me everywhere. At least I felt that at least I live in the city, and I thought people really don't care about the caste system. And here in the office, like uh, they knew my caste and they don't want to talk to me. And when I asked for help, and nobody was ready to help me because they don't want me to grow. So I decided that I should be like learning everything on my own, and I tried my best until 6 months. I never published one single article, and everyone was saying that she's not going to go to the next level or she's not going to pass. But in that 6 months, I learned everything that people don't help us, and I should be just doing everything on my own. And after 6 months, my first article got published, and after that, by the end of the training period, like next 6 months, I published over 100 articles. And the company that gave me the training offered me a job. And even in the job, you get paid like basic pay plus incentive based on the number of articles published. You won't believe, like for next 4 months, I worked like a machine, and I got paid like 4 times more than my basic pay, and they decided to confirm me because I'm getting paid too much than the regular employee, and they don't want to pay me like double as a permanent employee. So they confirm me in my job, and I become a permanent employee of that company. And in next 3 months, I got promoted as a senior reporter. Like in that 3.5 years, I worked become my name like Thilagavathi was become a very well-known name in the entire Tamil Nadu, or among the people who read that magazine. That's one of the top magazine in my language, and people started knowing my name. And I got an offer in television because of my writing skills and because of my content creation. And I started working for this largest television network as a special correspondent. You won't believe I am the first journalist in that category because they don't allow girls to do that job here, at least. And what happened is, whenever I try to do something more interesting, they're saying that you're not supposed to do that because you're a girl. You're not supposed to go there. You're a girl. You're not supposed to do that. Like I kept hearing that word like you're not supposed to do. Either way, they bring one or other reason uh, to tell you not to do things, but they don't appreciate or they don't encourage to you to go to the next level. But I never gave up, and I started this non-fiction. It's like a documentary that we see in the Discovery Channel or National Geography. It's like one of the most watched TV show here, and most of my show got very good rating, and I became a more inspiring journalist. After me, we had a lot of girls and women becoming journalists, and they were doing a lot of things. But still, I'm a senior. I'm one of the senior person in this industry. But I thought that this is not this is not what I'm looking for, because everywhere wherever I go, I hear the word that I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to go there. I'm not supposed to go inside the temple. I'm not supposed to go to college, or like everywhere they were stopping me. So I don't stop. I didn't stop. Um, After that, I thought that I should be going for the next level. So I decided to go for the business side of the entertainment. I did film production. I worked for a company, but I did film production, distribution. I single handedly handled the distribution of two films within 2 days for four districts. That's kind of record because I never slept for like a week in a stretch. I was living in the office. because I just want to prove that I can do that people are telling me that I cannot do, just for myself, not for anyone. I never wanted to prove the world that I can do things. So in that company also, like I grew up to the CEO level, and it's like a very big company. I made a lot of money. But the only thing that I have in my mind that I had to complete my bachelor's degree. I had to go to college because that's the only way I can change the future of my entire generation, because that's where people lack. Even though uh, we do anything or everything that people like or love, they still care about like who you are. They, even though it's very difficult like to find the caste in Chennai, because it's a city, people from a lot of other places live here. It's a multicultural city. They easily identify your caste by just asking, where are you from, where are you, where your father from is from which place, like what is your father's name, because they have to have the second name, the surname as the caste name, the caste name as the surname. That's how they easily find out. And based on your color, based on your accent, based on your like attitude, they easily find it out. And it's like racism in US from other parts of the world. They don't, they have done everything. I can give you an example. Like recently in a village, um, a lower caste girl loved a person, and the the president of that village ordered that they cannot get married, and any man in this village can rape that girl, because that's her punishment. That's how women are exploited and lower caste people are exploited. And whole family was burnt in a village because they entered the higher caste part of the village, and the whole family was burned to death. And recently, all these under 18 like small girls and small children were abused and killed and raped because they are from lower caste. That they find that it's their power. The higher caste people like think that they are powerful because they are from higher caste and they can do anything for the lower caste people. You won't believe, like a lot of like um, I cannot even say like some things, but it's still happening here. And I thought that education should be the only way, because that changes me everywhere. Like my attitude, my language, my skills, like it changes everything in me. And I decided that I have to go to school. I quit my job. I quit my well-paying job, and I left everything here because I'm not able to go to college in Chennai because I was too old to go to school. So I decided to go to film school because that's where I was gaining my experience. So I put all my savings, and um, I got scholarship, I got some sponsor, I went to film school. That's a 3 years bachelor's degree. I thought that I don't have to like study for 3 years. I completed my 3 years bachelor's degree in just 1.5 years and graduated with honors. I'm the class first, and people are saying, I said that that's all easy because I have my experience on that and I knew what you are already teaching. I have 15 years experience in the media industry, and why should that be tough? So that's how like I completed my bachelor's degree, and the first person in my whole generation, like whole family, to become a college graduate. I felt really proud, but there was no one to celebrate because I was there in US and everybody is here. But still, I became the first person. I changed the history. I felt like that, and I wanted to do my masters, but I know that I don't have money, and it's the education in the US is very expensive. And people are asking, why do you have to go to US and do your education? Because they don't understand the education. When you go abroad, you explore, and that that changes how people see you here. Like when I say that I graduated from US and they don't ask for anything else. They just, oh, where were you in US? Like you are in California or what were you doing? Like you went to for this college or that college. When I say film school, they were like, what? You went for film school? And like they don't talk about my past. They were talking about my current or future. Like what are you planning? When are you planning to go for a master's or are you planning to settle in US? Like the whole conversation changes to a different direction. So I thought that it's quite interesting. And after completing that degree, I started preparing for my master's. And you won't be, you won't believe, like I still feel like, oh my God, there are a lot of things that's happening. Whenever I came to know things that's going around, right? Why won't I know that? Why didn't I know that? Like what's going on, why nobody is telling us. Like there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of things going around, and there's no one to tell us. Like for me to gain the little knowledge that I have so far, it took me like 15 years, because everything is trial and error, and there's no one to guide you and no one to tell you. And you are like fighting for your food for almost like 5 years, and next 5 years to close all your debts, and the next 5 years to like settle in your career. It's all very difficult. So now I'm working with the Equal Means Equal. When I was in US, like I started working with them, but I came back here and I'm still working from home. And I have done all the campaigns. I planned most of the campaigns, and we were doing all this uh, by sitting at home in India, because I know the pain of not giving the equal opportunity. And now we are almost done. And I wanted to go. Meanwhile, I applied for top few universities, like top 50 universities in US, and I got offer letter from 3 universities. And now I don't have money, because I'm working with a nonprofit that is not able to pay me like other companies. And I yesterday got a loan approval, like for um, half of my fees for the master's degree. I decided to go to Boston University. And I got half financials from the loan, and I have applied for 2 scholarships, and I have asked for a sponsorship. But still, I have left with like $27,000, which the vice president of Equal Means Equal started a GoFundMe to raise money for me. So again, like I felt like, oh my God, the money is always becoming a problem for me. Because other people, when you see the people who go abroad for education, you will you will only see the higher caste people, because they know everything, because their family were like educated for almost like 20th generation. You won't believe their great grandfather would be working with the British as some CA or whatever. Like they know everything that's going on. They know, like they start planning for everything since they were like young. You are becoming this, and they start saving money for that. Like, and I I I don't want to give up because I don't have money, and I'm still fighting and trying in every possible way to raise money, because I just want to complete my master's degree. And I don't want my son to be like, uh, would I have to go to this school, and people start bullying you because you're from this caste, and they will ask you about your father or grandfather, and they don't tell you anything, and even in school they don't teach you anything properly. And now the government has the previous government was have done so many good things to keep to have education as the basic right for every children. They were doing all this free education and everything. But this government, the government for past 7 years. They don't want um, lower caste people to get anything, literally anything. They have removed the reservations that we had in the education system, so we can get into the schools or colleges easily, but they have removed everything. And they have raised the standard of, like, when you write an entrance exam, like let's say that I don't have any knowledge about what I'm going to study, but still I'm a good student, I can learn if I have given an opportunity. But they have raised the standard of the entrance level, like people from my caste, they have to score more than the low higher caste people. The higher caste have standard has been lower, like if they score 40%, they get into the big university. If I have to go into that big university, I have to score like 85%. Can you believe that? That's how, like, they are closing all the doors that were open for our education and the education of the children or the hospitals, like uh, job offers and everywhere. They are closing down all the doors, and I thought that I should change that. And meanwhile, working with all these things, I have been working with uh, a lot of girl children in the government schools to decide what they are supposed to do after the schools, because that's where I lacked everything and I did not have any knowledge. And I worked with 2,500 um, government high school children um, to get good scores. Because the education system in the government school is not very good, and they don't teach you properly because you're getting free education. And so we decided to work with them because most of the students fail in those schools. And that's the school those schools were like last in the ranking system. So we decided to work with them, and we planned a lot of strategies to make them score well. And we we got success, and we got almost like 95% pass scores in last 6 months. And the rankings of the schools, like, went of that district, went three in the ladder, went up three levels. So I found, like, this is quite interesting because everybody has a smartphone. People would say, like, everybody has smartphone, everyone has internet, and everyone can learn anything anywhere on the world. But it's not. Like, if I step out of my house, like, go up to certain level, I don't get internet connection. And people don't really use, like, smartphone. Like, smartphone is not worth when you don't have internet. And they don't give you internet when you live in a lower caste colony. So how do you know things? Like, everyone is because of this COVID, people are doing online classes, but online classes is available only for the people who have smartphone, computer, and the internet. How do other people study? So it's like um, they're just closing doors. Like, the government and the leaders are supposed to open doors for the underprivileged, but they are actually closing doors because they want people to stay illiterate. That's how they get into power. If all those people in our country, if the education rate was higher, they would not be in power because people know that they are exploiting and using us for making money, and they are helping the corporates. So in this case, like, at least uh, I can I wanted to change. I started that I wanted to change the future of my generation, but um, I started working with other people also because I want to know that because the knowledge that I gained because of this abroad education, it was so good. I felt very good. I felt very powerful. So I started teaching people, or teenage girls especially, um, who are underprivileged, who are in government schools, who don't have any other resources. I told them, like, you can just do whatever you want only when you decide that you want to do those things. So that's my story.